Good afternoon. My name is Jordan, and today I'm going to be talking about affirmative action in the workplace. First, I would like to thank Sarah and Teresa for their introduction and outline of state and federal laws for diversity in the workplace. Affirmative action. What is it, you ask? Affirmative action is put in place to help break down the visible and invisible barriers that cause unequal opportunity, meaning that diversity is everywhere in the workplace, and we need to make sure that there are equal opportunities for everybody: women, females, males, Hispanics, African Americans, disabled. We want to make sure that everyone and their brother has the right opportunity to has the right and opportunity to work anywhere they choose to. Some examples of diversity are color, race, disability, gender, and religion. My favorite quote on diversity is different individuals valuing each other regardless of skin, intellect, talents, and years. This just shows that no matter who you are, you deserve the opportunity to work in any environment that you choose with whoever is around. There are many different types of people that come to the table, and the more people who are around, the better off we are at learning from each other. And affirmative action holds all companies and people accountable to this. There are many pros to affirmative action in the workplace. It reverses the negative effects of racism and diversity. It helps to represent minorities and women, where if you are applying to a job and there's a male and a female and they're both qualified, that just it means that affirmative action stands that either one of you are qualified, and women do have the right to work, or minorities do have the right to work in the same workplace as men and non-minorities. It creates an equal opportunity for everybody to get a successful, meaningful job so that they can provide for their families. They have the equal opportunity to work anywhere and receive the same benefits and pay for that position. Discrimination is still around today. That will never change. Affirmative action only helps discourage against discrimination in the workplace, but it is still around today. So affirmative action will not change that. It just helps discourage discrimination. But also, affirmative action allows us to work with many new kinds of people and many different people, and everybody who you work with brings something new to the table. They all have their own ideas, their own thoughts, their own way of doing things, their own background, their own history. They all bring something new to the group, and we can learn from each other. So having diversity in the workplace is probably one of the best things that we can have for the workplace, because we all have something new to learn, and we all have something to provide to the group. And the more diverse we are, the better off our company is going to be. Now, there are also cons to affirmative action. It's not a fix. It is a blanket almost. It is a way of coping with discrimination, not necessarily a fix. We will never be able to fix the past. We will never be able to fix people from discriminating against each other. But affirmative action does help with discrimination, but it will never fix it. We will never be able to truly fix discrimination in the workplace. So that is one of the cons of affirmative action. It's more of a blanket or a band-aid, not necessarily a fix. It's also based on merit and education, where even if two women are going for a position, if one is more qualified than the other, the one who has more education is going to get the position. So that doesn't necessarily, affirmative action doesn't necessarily block out merit and education, because merit and education still come first to qualifications for the position. It's not necessarily then, it doesn't defer back to race, gender, religion. It doesn't defer back to that. Education trumps all of those. So there will still be discrimination against merit and education, or lack thereof, I should say. Also, another con would be lower class do not benefit, only upper class do. Lower class may not have the skills or the financial means to better themselves to be qualified for the position. So that kind of leaves them out in the cold. So really the upper class have the upper hand here. Also, affirmative action increases racial tension due to the fact that it brings attention to discrimination in the workplace. It brings it out front and center. We all have to see it and say, hey, we can't discriminate against people. Can we fix discrimination in the workplace? I firmly do not believe that there is a fix for it. I think that we can all take a stand and go with affirmative action and try not to discriminate. But I think at the end of the day, not everyone will follow affirmative action. Someone will always discriminate, but if we take a stand, maybe your company can be the one that doesn't discriminate and has something proud to say about the diverse group you have working for you. Last, does it help? Does affirmative action help? This helps the people who are trying to better their lives. It doesn't stop discrimination, it only enhances it. This meaning that the people who are or have been discriminated against have a fighting chance at making it, because they are trying to better themselves, and affirmative action will stand next to them and help them through to better themselves, to provide for their families. I hope that you all learned a little bit about affirmative action and what it has to offer each and every company out there. It has so much to offer diverse groups of people, so we can all learn from each other. I just want to thank you very much for your time, and here's Lisa talking about workplace diversity.